Hey, good day. This is Greg Lewis, the City Manager of Lebanon, New Hampshire. We want to welcome you to Lebanon in Depth today. This is our second show. We're looking forward to these shows. We hope the public, as they listen to these shows, can get something about the city of Lebanon more than they might have known before. The city of Lebanon, as a sustainable community, is very interested in being transparent. And transparent, mentally, simply, we want to be very visible and be able to respond to questions and make sure the citizens are aware that we're really concerned and care about what they have to think, and this is an opportunity to show that. In the next shows, if you'd like to send me a question you'd like to have answered on the show, just use my email, and that's greg.lewis@lebcity.com. Just please feel free to do that, and then you say a question and you'd like to have it answered in the next show, and I'll really do it. Some items this morning. We're going to work in this first session a little bit about some of the overview as to the Lebanon in depth as to city management systems, and then in the second part of our show, we're going to devote our time to our great Lebanon City Library. And so that's really, I'm looking forward. Our director here is available to us today, so we'll take that up in our second half. The first thing I like to go out of the chute with as the city managers, there's a system on the website, and it's really called Lebanon Connection. It's Leb City Community Connection. Now, if you go on the website on the front page, it'll say click the Lebanon Community Connection, and just look at that section, click it, and once you click it, it'll open up, and I made copies of it so for my reference points today, and the copies will show you that you need to select the topic. The topics, there are a number of topics. I'll read a couple of them. You could talk about the airport, you talk about cemeteries, you could talk about recreation and parks, you could talk about solid waste, talk about public works, fire, GIS. So there's a whole variety of all the city departments there. Now, if you wanted to make a comment or a suggestion or have a question, or if you've got a complaint about a particular aspect of the city's operation, just click one of those boxes, and then you'll show up in a dialog box, and you can enter in that dialog box what your concern is, what your question is, and if you have a complaint, put that complaint in there. And that will be sent to a designated person for that particular subject matter, and they'll receive your email, and they'll read, and they must respond to your concern, comment, question. And we give them a time to respond, 3 days. If it's not responded to in 3 days, then the email shows up on my email, and then it shows that we haven't got a response back to a citizen, and I follow up to ensure you get a response. We're also going to use that to track the nature of the concerns, because we want to make sure that we're seeing like the whole elephant here, the city of Lebanon, exactly what people are concerned about. And if there's patterns of comments, questions, concerns, complaints, we want to identify those patterns so that maybe we need to change our system in some of those areas. Because we'd like to be a flexible, nimble city that can respond when we see systems issues in our community and in the way we deliver services. So please use that Lebanon Community Connection as your avenue to go ahead and make your concerns known. The library, which we'll mention later, also has computers, and they would be able to assist you in terms if you don't have a computer and you want to access the internet and get to that connection, they'll help you. The other thing I want to specifically engage in this segment is we are really looking forward to the opportunity to interview our finalists for our position of Director of Planning and Zoning. So we want to share that moment with citizens, and we're providing an open meet and greet period where you can come and meet the finalists for the Director of Planning and Zoning. And so we want you to look on your calendar to Thursday, May 19th, between the hours of 4:30 and 6:30. During that time, finalists will be coming into the community room there at the Kilton Library, and that's over in West Leb. And you'll be able to come in and meet the finalists. They're going to come in one at a time. So each of them will come in and spend some time with citizens at that meeting room at the Kilton Library. And you'll just have a chance to see them personally and touch base and ask them why they're looking to come in here and help us with planning and zoning. For me, as the new city manager here, I arrived here on May 28th, so I'm now February 28th, and now I'm in May. So I finished a couple months up, and I made the number one priority I have is the master plan for the city of Lebanon. I am absolutely totally committed to producing a product that is reflective of all the participants in the master planning process. Now, it's gone a long time, much more than I would normally expect. This is my fourth master plan that I've done. This master plan, since the other ones I began in the beginning and was in it to the end, this one I'm at the end, and it's been a very long, unwinding trail. So I am trying to pick that up. We're going to have a team. We have a team. We're working on it right now. We worked yesterday. We're working tomorrow. We're going to work on that, and we are taking all the information we've been given through all the committees, and all the data that's been given, and all the notes that have been taken, and all the comments that have been made, and we're incorporating them into what I hope to be is a high quality product, which is the master plan of Lebanon, based on all that you and the citizens here have done. So it's not creating a new situation, and from my perspective, it's taking and doing honor to those who participate in this process. And once we've completed this product, we're going to take it back upstream to the people that were involved in this process over these many years. And we're going to kind of get your reflection on a product, and I'm going to make sure that it's a quality product that's presented to you, and that it reflects what your views are and your beliefs, and that it points the way. It's like a compass. It provides a path to the future, a preferred future. The whole point of master planning is to take the 13,000 plus residents here and have them be able to understand that of this master plan, that incrementally it will be able to assist each and every citizen of Lebanon, each and every resident of Lebanon, and your families and your friends that live here in Lebanon, that incrementally the master plan will provide a better path to the future that will be helpful to all of you, and all of you in many ways, economically, environmentally, and socially, and culturally, and historically, and development-wise. It's a real balance, so everyone benefits to some degree. Master plan is not about winners and losers. I think that should be really clear. It's about unifying for the future. Unifying based on what your directions are, and then that is where we're going to move. So this critical piece of getting a planning and zoning director who will be a key project leader for this plan, along with myself, I've given myself the title of being the champion of this plan. So I think that between myself, champion, and the new planning and zoning director being the project manager of making sure this product is produced, this is going to be an effort worthy of the greatness of Lebanon and its citizens. So that's what we're about right now as the number one priority. You have to do more than just one thing in the city. So I do want to share with you that the city is just a bustling, robust, a very active area of the world. It's one of the most robust and vital communities I've ever come across. Somebody here with fresh eyes, I see so much going on, and what I do see is that your policy leaders, your city council members, have set forth a vision, and the vision that they have set forth is to basically be a model for a balanced and desirable, sustainable community, preserving the New England rural character while smartly managing its growth and urbanization as the hub of the Upper Valley micropolitan area, and meeting the needs of the present, i.e. you, today, without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. That is, the people that will follow us, the children, the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, all those who will follow in the footsteps of those here to serve their needs as well as the needs of today. That's a really magnificent vision that the City Council has adopted. And now the part is you have to deploy it. We have to find every nook and cranny in the city operation and organization, and we need to deploy that vision, and we need to make it into missions for each of the departments, the purposes of those departments. It needs to be melded into outcomes that are statistically able to be measured, and it needs to be data-based. It needs to show concrete, on-the-ground results that show that this vision is being deployed in everyday work, everyday action, everyday deeds. So everything the city does has to match up against the grand vision that it has. I'm finding that my job as city manager that I have been given is basically to unify. In terms of a future, when you have so much pressures economically, culturally, on all the different types of people that were here, we know what a pressure cooker can be. We also know the pressure on the infrastructure. We know the streets, the roads, the bridges, the need for having abilities to transmit voice and data. There's so many things that are pressing on us that in order to make a successful community, it must be unified. And the unity must be within here, and it must be with our regionally, and we must have collaboration regionally, and we have to build partners wherever we go in our community. I think that's my total focus in terms of my personal mission, is to unify others. I'm going to look forward to working with each and every one of you as we do this work together. And one of my number one priorities is 100% Lebanon citizen involvement in their government. So you need to stretch, and I've always told my children that you need to stretch. And so if you're going to stretch, well, what better than to put out in front an outcome of 100% citizen participation. And participation can come in so many different forms, from a simple act of registering to vote, to participating in a community meeting, to joining a committee, to come and participate in a proposal I have to create a citizen academy. And in that citizen academy, it'll be an opportunity to learn about Lebanon and the issues and what tools we have. And that will be something I'm working for. So in 2012, we will be undertaking the Citizen Academy. I'd like your input on a Citizen Academy and what it should look like. I'd like to cover many aspects of the city in that academy. Another thing that I'm very concerned about is, of course, the finances. We are beginning the 2012 budget process. We had a really excellent work session that the City Council authorized and allowed us to partake. It utilized all our department heads and counselors who were able to attend, and we worked for significant hours on this one day where we started at 1 and we finished around 7 something. Basically, we tried to create a path and understood what we're going to do operationally in 2012 and what we're going to do in terms of the budget. What we're going to do is we're going to be frugal. We have to look at what's affordable in all that we do, that's affordable to you as residents. It has to be something you're willing to provide, that we provide. It needs to build on the strengths of Lebanon. That's the key strategy. If we look at it, we unify, we are frugal, we look at affordability, we are building on strengths, and we're building on collaboration and partnership. You know, when the storm's outside and it's economic, so whether it's coming from Concord or Washington, D.C. or the global world, it's not so much the fact of the storm coming, it's how you and how I, as members of this community, react to the storm. What's our behavior? And our behavior should be and must be to be a organization that's committed to its citizens, to communicate, to listen, to cooperate, to collaborate. there's a lot of nice things out there that we have possibilities are, and they're within our means. And that's what we're going to be doing. The planning and zoning goes on as we do master planning. And after that, we'll be looking at what other devices we might have in order to bring balance. We need balance. In bringing forward subdivisions and in bringing forward major projects, every time in the room in that with those subject matters, I think we all have to be thinking of what is good for every member of our community, all the 13,000 people. Not a neighborhood, not a region, not a developer, the city government itself. It's really what's good for every member of the community. And how we need to do many things. In a community, there are like 4 aspects of a community. There's people that like to explore, dream up wonderful things, and have visions and leave legacies. There's people that like to control. They like orderliness. They don't like disorder. They don't like clutter. There's people that like to pursue their freedom, pursue economic well-being. They like to pursue having meaningful lives. There are people that like to preserve the past and protect the past. You need all those types of people because everybody has an aspect of that within themselves. So we need to have everyone unified and know that we need a balance between all those factors. We can't have someone overreach and try to extend too far for a grand vision or legacy. They have to be within the boundaries of what's best for everyone and what concerns everyone. I think every vision is an important one, whether it's a vision like my father, who was a truck driver, and his vision was coming back from World War II in the Pacific and raising a couple of kids and driving a semi-trailer truck, and versus someone that has a grander vision of creating a whole new part of a community. Every vision is important, and so we're going to work to balance all those things that's going to happen to us. This month, we'll be very busy in the city. Please pay attention to the website. The website is a great resource for all the information that you have available to you on the website. Also, as I lead into the library, please utilize the library. The libraries we have are just wonderful. We have 2 wonderful libraries, and we'll be talking about them in our second segment.